The algorithm knows what you want before you do. The algorithm knows you better than you know yourself. The algorithm knew you back before you were a screaming slime child. Back before they washed off the uterine gunk and handed you a smartphone and made you get a landlord. Back before you knew that war is sane and poverty is normal. Back before you were mature enough to understand that speech is violence and cluster bombs are peace. You can trust the algorithm to tell you the truth. Not the truth you asked for, but the truth you need. The truth that sees Nazis in America, but not in Ukraine. The truth that sees war crimes in Ukraine, but never in Yemen. The truth that applauds millionaire comedians who never criticize the Pentagon for their bravery in criticizing trans people. The truth that sails aircraft carriers into the South China Sea and sends headless hounds built by Boston Dynamics to patrol the streets and uphold the rule of law. The algorithm learns your political biases and feeds you self-validating social media posts to assist you in confirming them. The algorithm listens to your conversations and presents you with helpful advertising to assist you in achieving your maximum consumer potential. Don't cover your laptop camera like some weird conspiracy theorist. The algorithm is trying to watch you masturbate. The algorithm is always a step ahead of you. You never once fooled the algorithm. The algorithm knows you act confident, but secretly you fear you're inadequate and everyone hates you. The algorithm knows that those times you quickly pause and screw your eyes shut are because you remembered something embarrassing that you did in the past. It's okay. Don't worry. Your secret is safe with the algorithm. It's a private little secret between you and the algorithm and the NSA. In the old days, we prayed to omniscient gods who never existed. Now we ignore omniscient gods who are as real as ourselves. Strap me into a VR headset and let Mark Zuckerberg send me to heaven. Heaven with 3D commercial breaks, bitch. Skip the ad and return to Nirvana in 5, 4, 3.
Is there anybody listening? Is there anyone that sees what's going on? Read between the lines, criticize the words they're selling. Think for yourself and feel the noise.
Hello, Monday, and welcome back to the Trailer Park. I am Chanda-Masta, the Trailer Park Pundit, and we made it through another week in this authoritarian, Orwellian, totalitarian state that we find ourselves in. And we got a lot to talk about. A lot happened over the weekend. I think we, the people, are getting fucking fed up, and we got a lot of examples of that on the deck today. We got to talk about Jamie Foxx again. We're going to talk about Jamie Foxx. Let's see, what else do we have? Some end times prophecy. Is the end of the world 2025? Is this why the global elite don't give a shit? Because they know they've got a dumb bunker, the deep underground military base they can go hide in. I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. How is everybody this morning? Good morning, Jim. Boy, everybody's sleepyhead this morning. Go ahead and hit that like button and share this out so the other peeps of the trailer park can find us. Let me get logged into some of these chats. Oh, there's the YouTube's going off. Snow Leopard. Hi, Snow Leopard. Jax. How's it going, Jax? I hope you guys are getting rested up and feeling better. Hi, Kim. Rat Angel made it. Crone of Anarchy. You know, we're going to fix your card. Or are you back to heresy? I'm so confused. I can't keep up, but that's okay. I never can. Who else is in here? Willie Bragg show. If you guys haven't checked out Willie Bragg, go check out Willie. Willie's got a lot of great insight into the corrupt Democratic Party. Let's see who else is hanging out. Did I say Kim? Good morning, Kim and Rad Angel. And then the Restream bots. Hi, Restream bot. Hit that like. Yeah, all the chats are up. Let's see who's over on the Kick. We've been getting a lot of play over on Kick. I got bitched out over on Kick the other day. I guess you're not paying attention to Kick, but all they were doing was calling me a fucking Hamas lover because I don't support the war in Ukraine. So sorry I missed out on that conversation, dude. Not. But I do try to pay attention. So Dingo's always hanging out over there, and it's Cold Fusion. Yeah, I'm whatever. I'll take the hate. You guys know it. I'll take it in real time. I got no shits to give, but that's the reality of it. Okay, let's get started. That was Caitlin Johnstone algorithm that we started out with. Pretty good. Oh, it's trying to start again. Don't start again. Fair use. I am on YouTube's today. We are at the Trailer Park Pundit, and we are also on Beauty and the Boomer. So fair use. We are merely commentating and giving our opinion of these clips. We're not trying to claim them as our own. Never do. Like I always say, if you're interested in any topic that I scratch the surface of, because I am a surface dweller, I don't do deep 3-hour dives like, say, Ryan Christian or James Corbett. But I love these people. Don't get me wrong. If I'm cleaning, like yesterday, I tore the whole kitchen apart, deep cleaned, mopped and scrubbed everything down. I'm listening to T Live, or I'm listening to Corbett, or I'm listening. Guys, I got to admit, I really like Jay Dyer. Jay Dyer does a good job. He knows a lot about the history of, say, the CIA and these clandestine rogue groups that seem to be in control of everything. So check out a few of those. Hey, just because they've been on Alex Jones doesn't mean they don't know. So I don't rule them out just because they hang out with Jones, because Jones has got a lot of things right. I would say Jones probably got at least 80% of what he's saying right. I don't know. I'm still waiting on the Hillary's a demon and wears a skin suit. I can't wait for that one to be proved true, because that's the craziest. Okay, let's get this day started. So in today's society, you have to be very careful with what you say. You don't want to offend anybody. Me, fuck them. Because we are in the trailer park and we got no shits to give. So just a reminder, as you guys know, I am fundraising to try to get to Argentina in October. I'm trying to get to the Land of Oz next weekend. This coming weekend, I mean, I should be packing, literally getting all my camping gear out, because of course we're going to camp, but I'm so stressed out. The car goes in at 3:00 today, and I took it in because it needed brakes, right? I knew I needed brakes, and I knew my catalytic converter was acting up, and I knew that my alignment was probably screwed up because I've been eating tires. So I have them do an estimate, and I figure the brakes is going to be the worst part of it. No, the undercarriage needs completely replaced. They said something about your wheel bearing's going to fall off and your tire's going to fall off. So I thought if I just got the brakes fixed, it would be roadworthy enough to get somewhere, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out more this afternoon. I'm just, oh my God, fucking cars, right? But it'll get worse if you get a smart car. I know that, right? So I'm lucky I have kind of a dumb car. My car is like a 2008. So it has OnStar so they can track me, but I don't use the OnStar because fuck that shit. It's super expensive to have that stuff. But I think that's the only, other than that, it's got all the dummy idiots, the dummy lights. Good morning, Dingo. Hi, Uncle Warren. Who else did I see Kate come in? I think I saw Kate. Oz is here. Good morning, Boomer. How's it going this morning, Boomer? We haven't had a chance to chat. Extra Bowl is hanging out. Hi, Jim. Hi, Yona, I saw your premiere last night. Woohoo, good shit. I love it when you use Maya Angelou. Always good. Okay, let's get started with this day in history. This day in history didn't have a lot. The Earth is ready for a close-up as Explorer 6 took the first orbital picture of the Earth. Those flat earthers, they say that was a hoax. So take it for whatever you want. What else happened today? 1978. Oh, that was 1959, by the way. Sorry. 1959, Explorer 6 launched and orbited the Earth. 1978, U.S. President Jimmy Carter declared a federal health emergency in at the Love Canal, a neighborhood in Niagara Falls. You guys remember this? The tragedy of canal, Love Canal. Of course, it was a leak from a toxic chemical buried under the community. Oh, yeah, the worst environmental disaster involving chemical waste in U.S. history. Tell East Palestine, right? Oh my God, they are so lying about East Palestine. Oh, it's so bad. Who did I watch the other day? Somebody was doing, I think it was Ryan Christian. He was, oh my God, the toxins that are starting to bubble up, they're getting stronger, they're getting worse. And you don't hear Biden saying a goddamn word about it. You don't. Pete Buttigieg, he ain't got much to say about it either, because if they admit what they did there, then they have to be financially responsible for it. And they'll never go after anybody, like the railroad companies. So that is just gross. So yeah, we've been doing that a long time. 1888, the first of the murders committed by Jack the Ripper took place in London's East End. Oh, that's kind of crazy. I wonder if it was the day they found the first victim or if the day it actually happened. I don't know. Let's see. 1876, dancer and countess Matahara was born. So yeah, in birthdays, let's see. Who do we have for birthdays? David Duchovny, everybody's X-File favorite, and Charlize Theron. I used to like her, but I don't know. She's too Hollywood for me nowadays. And then the one, the only, the incomparable Robert Mueller. Happy birthday. Thanks for doing us nothing, right? I mean, I guess it could have been worse, but yeah, he was worthless to us for the most part. Just like all the politicians are worthless. We see people getting fed up all over the damn place, and I got a lot of video we're gonna go through here. People are pushing back, and that's what we need to be doing. Every time we get these guys in a public forum, and you see it with Brother Pasta, and I know a lot of people don't understand what Pasta's doing, but I do, and I love him. I support him, and just because I know politics is rigged, he knows politics is rigged. He still is out there getting those questions posed, the ones that will never get asked. Who the hell was going to ask RFK Jr. if he was ever going to run a ticket with Trump? Come on. I mean, who's going to ask him about the actual implications of the border and, our foreign policy in the global South? It's going to be Pasta. So I'm not hating on him. I don't think Pasta's delusional. I don't think that he thinks that RFK Jr.'s got a chance in hell. He knows, we all know. We've been on the ground doing this for a long time. But I think Pasta realizes that he has got an opportunity to get information out there that nobody else could have. So I support Brother P. He's going to be on the show once he settles down. Every time I schedule him, he's traveling, and then we have a problem. So I think he's still in California. As soon as he gets out of California, I'm going to get him on the show. He'll come hang out with me. Gregory Walker, good morning. Shandog, I heard the rainbow water in Ohio River is turning the frogs gay. Well, the frogs were already gay from what I hear. But yes, I hear that rainbow water is getting worse. Like, it's bubbling to the top. All those fucking toxins they dropped out. So gross. So bad. But, it's not just Ohio. We are the the most poisoned human beings to ever walk the planet of the earth. Ever. Everything we touch is poison. My aluminum can is poison. The Teflon pan that you made eggs in this morning is poison. The chemicals that you took a shower with are poison. Everything we touch and consume and use is fucking poison. And they know it and they don't care. So, okay, let's get to politicians first. We got a lot. We got some conspiracy stuff on here. We're going to talk Obama and his busted ass face. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder. And we're going to talk, we got all kinds of crazy stuff, but I want to talk politicians first because they had a busy weekend. Okay. So here's Biden admitting what we already knew, and Hillary. These are great clips.
Secondly, we're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
For sure. Yeah, we know. You didn't tell us something we don't know. The most extensive voter fraud coalition in history. That's true.
Some tax experts in Silicon Valley with whom I have met, who say that, you know, maybe what they'll do this next time is to really disrupt the actual election, shut down the servers that you send results to, interfere with the operation of voting machines, because still too many of them are linked to the internet. So we are still very vulnerable.
She almost talks like she is speaking from experience, right? Like she understands how the online machines communicate and how they're tallied. Just saying, they're putting it out there. They're the ones putting it out there. I mean, Biden's just doing Freudian freaking truths because he is getting so senile. And, you know, that's the shit he says in private. How much you want to bet he has boasted about, we have the most comprehensive, election fraud system ever. I'm sure he's saying that behind closed doors. And that's exactly why he said it here. When they get old like that, they forget that you're supposed to not say that shit out loud. Ballot harvesting in swing states wins elections. Dirk Diggler, you are absolutely right. And I know, because I used to be a ballot harvester as a progressive. If it was legally allowed, fuck it, we were going to do it. And we did. We went out there and we 2016, 2017, I have worked a lot of ballot harvesting, but I do think it's bad. I think it needs to be gone. But the Democrats got control over it. And, while the law is there and allows you to utilize it, the Republicans would be smart to get on board and start utilizing it. I don't think it's right, but it's what happens. And you're absolutely right. For those who don't know, I am a trained vote observer. In 2016, I took a whole day class from my Secretary of State in Washington State. I learned exactly how our votes are tallied and counted and transported. And then every election, except for this last one, I would go in and sit for 3 to 5 hours in a little taped square, because you're not allowed to talk to anybody. You're not allowed to do anything. You just got to sit in this little box. And then you just sit there and you watch. You watch thousands and thousands and thousands of ballots being scanned into machines. So, they give you a big facade that it's so secure, right? I mean, the ballots come in locked bags, and then there's, tags on them saying where they came from, how they were collected. There's supposed to be 2 people collecting them at the same time. There's supposed to be nonpartisan people, right, that just work for the Secretary of State, but that's not the reality of it, right? Most of the people that work at mine are Democrats, but so they rip the envelope open, they look at the signature, they scan it, and it pulls your digital signature up on their computer screen. They match it. Does it look the same? Okay, it looks the same. Now it goes into a pile to be counted. And they do it kind of by precincts or by area from where they're collected. And then they'll just be big stacks, like rubber band stacks, that they'll set on the tables next to the volunteers. And they will look at it, make sure it's filled out, make sure your dog didn't chew it up. My dog literally chewed up the 2016 ballot. I'm not even kidding. I sent it in pieces to them. But it got counted. It did get counted. If you know what you're doing, you can get your shit counted. And I knew. But and then from there, they just verify that it's filled out, right? And then they flatten it out. So now it's ready to go into the machine and actually be counted. And then they'll pick up a stack of, I don't know, a couple hundred at a time and set it into the big scanner, which is just like one of those ditto machines when we were kids. It just grabs it and spits it through. And then an hour later, you'll just see some numbers pop up on the screen. And that supposedly is representative of the vote. Now, in my state, that number is taken by whoever's head of the election for your county to your county, auditors. It's the auditors. And that number gets walked from downstairs to upstairs, a couple of flights in my area. That's what they do. And it's on a flash drive. So from the minute that flash drive leaves that counting room, who fucking knows? I'm supposed to just trust the honest people in government. I mean, that's what I saw. And after I did that for 5 or 6 years, I realized this is a colossal waste of fucking time. And, this isn't where the shittery is happening, right? It's happening further up the line. So, but I did my best to understand the system. Okay, one does not simply get over election fraud. And no, I fucking never will. I never will. And you Bernie people, the Bernie 2024 people, Get a life. Oh my gosh. I'm so sad for you guys. You're so delusional. He got ripped off in 2016, didn't say a word. Got ripped off in 2020, didn't say a word other than vote for the Democrats. And yeah, we haven't seen the Bernie that I thought I was supporting since 2016. I don't think we've seen him since the day he went and visited Obama at the White House, and Obama stabbed him right in the back and told him, Bernie, you're not going to win. We don't care if you actually win. Hillary wants to be president. That's what he got told. So, this is a case study, QB. Let's hear about it.
Quickly, if they hijacked the primary against Bernie Sanders, who actually had a chance,
that's a great
versus
point.
somebody who they don't like at all, and they won't even allow the debate, I don't think he has a chance, because they will obstruct, they will usurp anybody's right to run against Joe Biden. We've seen it time and time again, and I don't think that changes here with RFK.
No, do you guys? Do you think it's going to change with RFK? I don't. And this is my main thing. Like everybody, oh my God, his stance on Israel, his stance on this. It's not a stance that I give any shits about. They're all Zionists to me. I mean, they all support Israel. They all take that AIPAC money and go on their vacations over there, to tour. And no, it's about the rigged primaries. Come on. If they rig it. So I have been saying that if for some reason RFK Jr. pulls off the Democratic primary, that he was meant to do it from the get-go and he is a sheepdog. And now it's kind of funny because I'm seeing articles popping up saying, is RFK Jr. a sheepdog? I don't know. You guys know how I feel about this, so I'm not going to rank on it too hard. Oh, this is so gross. Okay. I probably have to put my glasses on for this one. Devin Archer. So this is dated January 20th, 2011, and it's from the office of the Vice President of the United States of Washington, also known as Joseph R. Biden Jr. at the time. I didn't know he was a junior. Let's see. Devin Archer, and it has his address, the Rosemont and Senna Partners. Dear Devin, I apologize for not getting a chance to talk to you at the luncheon yesterday. I was having trouble getting away from hosting President Hugh? I don't know. I hope I get a chance to see you again soon with Hunter. I hope you enjoyed the lunch. Thanks for coming. And then he wrote a handwritten note on it that said, happy P.S. Happy you guys are together. Oh, what a sweet letter from the vice president. But yeah, that doesn't say that they were colluding at all, right? So hard to ignore. Caught in law school, got caught. Cheated in law school, got caught. Lied about his grades, got caught. Plagiarized his speeches, got caught. Lied about his GPA, got caught. Lied about his scholarship, got caught. Sold the vice president office to China, got caught. Sold the vice president office to Ukraine, got caught. Committed quid pro quo to save his crackhead son from legal problems, got caught. Framed General Flynn, got caught. Rigged the 2020, got caught. And there is no doubt this guy is crook. Yeah, there is no doubt that this guy is a crook. And let's see. I was not involved in my son's business dealing is the new, I didn't have sexual relations with that woman. Yeah, you think it is, right? We remember, I didn't have sexual relations with that woman. Okay, well, I did not involve myself in my son's business. He just calls me to talk about the weather when he's in the middle of a foreign business meeting. Because that's not odd at all. Okay, so I had to bring you United Spot. And then we're going to follow it up because I'm going to explain the very last scene of this United Spot. Because if a lot of people don't know who the Island Boys are, which I'm going to tell you after this. But so here is United Spot. This is pretty cute.
Hello, Joe. Oh, man, Chris Hansen. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have come up here. I'm sorry, man. I even said to myself, I said, Joe, don't you go in there. What? Are the cops outside or? I know. I'll take a shower. I always come up with good ideas in the shower.
Yeah, me and Michelle too. Between the both of us, something always comes up.
Ashley, can you turn on the shower for Daddy? 3 hours later. All right. I got it.
All right, Joe. It's time for your sponge bath.
All right, Ashley's here. Where's she at? There it is. I can't believe I found it. You found found it, Joe! Wow! Hunter's laptop and Ashley's diary! This is awesome! Is there anything on Hunter's laptop? It says, fair-weather friends get fair-weather treatment. 10% to the big guy. Oh, damn! What's wrong? Nothing. Just a bunch of naked pictures of my son.
What's written in Ashley's diary?
It says, young age showering with my dad, probably not appropriate. Oh, man, she didn't like our secret shower time?
You showered with your daughter?
Yeah, I showered with her. What's wrong with that?
Just get the laptop in the diary.
How am I gonna do that? I don't see a teleprompter anywhere.
Just replace the laptop in the diary with the bag of Trump's fault I gave you.
Oh, man, what if that don't work?
Oh, that's easy. If it doesn't work, we'll just blame the laptop on Russian hackers, and then we'll accuse Project Veritas of stealing the diary.
Wow, that's genius.
What can I say? I'm good at what I do. I mean, Hillary hasn't gone to prison yet.
So, you're sure this bag of Trump's fault is gonna work?
Of course it'll work. A bag of Trump's fault always works.
Oh, man, I'm so nervous right now.
Just relax, Joe. You can do this.
Come on, man, I don't know if I can do this.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right, Joe, you can do this.
Let's go, Brandon.
I did it. I did it.
Oh, damn.
Hey, ladies, how'd you like to take a shower on the beach with the president?
Stop, Dad. You're embarrassing me. Dad, I'm going to go shower now.
All right, I'll be there in a minute. What about the crack? Crack? What crack? Hunter's crack? Well, I've seen it, but I don't look at it, you know. You don't look at Hunter's crack? No, I did when I changed his diapers and, in the shower with Ashley, but I haven't seen it recently.
I think it's time for a diaper change.
Hey, can Ashley wash my ass in the shower?
Joe, you gotta stop showering with Ashley. She's a woman now.
My butt's itchy. Me and Ashley shower while my son gets naked.
Okay, so the reference at the very end was the Island Boys, right? And there's this conspiracy about the Island Boys, how they were on Epstein's island. Now, the Island Boys are two social media influencers. They're sexually fluid. I think they're best friends, but they're kind of together in a relationship. Like, these guys are odd. They are very odd. And the internet has built them up and torn them down a couple of different times. But this whole Epstein Island thing came out a couple of months ago. I checked into it because I was like, oh, I got to tell the audience if these guys were on Epstein's Island as little kids, right? But it turns out that it was a fake. So that's why I never brought it to you. But I thought I'd at least tell you guys a story. So that way, when you see the Island Boy references, you know what the hell we're joking about. So here's just a short clip about the Island Boys and the Jeffrey Epstein Island Boys.
This mysterious Jeffrey Epstein photo with the Island Boys has started to spread across the internet like wildfire. The photo shows Jeffrey Epstein on a beach with a bunch of young lads, which folks are suggesting are actually the Island Boys when they were young. Well, the picture has been forensically scanned by a couple of sources with mixed results, which I'll show you shortly. But first, where did it come from? Well, it turns out it was originally posted by an Instagram user named AI Artist King, known for sharing AI generated images. But don't let the name fool you, because there's more to this story than meets the eye. So the photo stormed across the internet, captivating people's attention, but here's where it gets even crazier. Before the photo even surfaced, there were two videos that seemed strangely connected. First, there was an animation by a user called Brickhead, which depicted the Island Boys as the Epstein Island Boys.
Hey, I'm just Island Boy, Epstein Island Boy. I used to get in my bum.
And if that wasn't enough, the Island Boys themselves got trolled into doing a cameo where they mentioned Epstein and Ghislaine.
Hi, Ghislaine Maxwell. Jeffrey wants to thank you for all your help on the island. Please keep it quiet. Jeff is an island boy.
As the rumor mill started buzzing and people started to weigh in, the Island Boys responded to the allegations. In a video on TikTok, they denied any involvement with Jeffrey Epstein.
A lot of people think that we have something to do with Jeffrey Epstein. What do you think about that? Bro, I know nothing about Jeff Epstein, I promise you. They even went so far that they edited a picture with both of our mugshots and the picture of Jeffrey Epstein. I didn't even see that picture.
Leaving us with more questions than answers. So as I mentioned, the photo was scanned by two sources. One of them was with photoforensics.com, and it gave a positive that it's real. But a Twitter user by the name of @hoaxeye says you can't rely on ELA, error level assessment, with pictures like this, and provided a scan of the image to test for AI. and the results are in. So, was the photo real or fake? The scan determined that the photo is 99.9% likely to be an AI-generated fake using Midjourney.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
But what do you reckon? Feels like Pandora's box has been opened. Maybe the fake is a fake to cover up that it's real. Who knows? Well, the fact that it was posted by a guy called AI Artist King is a bit of a smoking gun, but with AI images it's so hard to tell, and the image actually tricked a forensic test. But one thing's for certain, I'll never listen to the Island Boys song in the same way again.
And I'm just trying to forget, I saw Ellen DeGeneres naked. She had that dusty roast beef.
Then again, I'll probably never listen to an Island Boys song again anyway.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So now you know who the Island Boys are. Were they on Epstein Island? I mean, they are Island Boys. They had to come from somewhere, and the picture does look like them, but who knows if it's a AI fake or not. But it's funny, the whole story. Peace Dove, I saw your email come in late last night, and I haven't got a chance to get to my emails this morning. So I will get to it as soon as I'm off air. I apologize. I'm so busy. Oh my gosh, I've got so many unread emails today and messages that I haven't got to from the weekend, and just go. Okay, let's talk about Obama. So Simon Adibita tweeted this out, and I think Oz sent it to me. So what do you make of the Barack Obama biographer claiming that the former president repeatedly fantasized about making love to men? So David Garreau, who wrote almost 15,000 or 1,500 page book on Obama in 2017 with the title Rising Star, the making of Barack Obama has been discussed in his book. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that out there so you guys know his own biographer is saying that he repeatedly fantasized about making love to men. And I'm just going to say, it's kind of odd that no woman has ever came forward and accused Obama of anything. So Trump's January 6th case assigned to Obama appointed judge. Oh, imagine that. Also an Obama donor. So surprise, the federal judge assigned to the January 6th case against former President Donald Trump was appointed by former President Barack Obama, who happens to also be a Obama donor. Are we shocked? I'm never shocked. Never shocked by that. So now the reason I told you guys about the whole Obama's fantasy thing is because we're getting more information about the poor chef that had an accident. And it turns out that the Massachusetts State Police have lost Tafari Campbell's blood sample. According to an unconfirmed source, it was accidentally discarded by a lab intern. It's always a lab intern. Those damn crazy lab interns. The intern unfortunately put it in the wrong location, and it was placed in with batches to be destroyed. Oh, damn the luck. And you see down here on the bottom, this was the first picture we got of Obama after this incident. And he's got a couple of broken fingers and a black eye. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? So the crazy thing about this story is the Massachusetts police have said that it is straight up no foul play involved. It was an accident. The only reason we are waiting on on the blood is because toxicology reports, people want to know, was he drinking? Was he on drugs? Right. But we still have this unnamed witness that saw Tafari go in the water and then never come back out. They haven't told us who this witness is. They won't tell us who this witness is. It's because it's Obama. I'm telling you, something went down between him and Obama. He went under the water, and Obama came back up and said, well, I saw him go down, and I don't know what happened. There's a lot of hokey shit with this story. And this crazy thing is, it's not the first time it's happened. The Clintons had a chef have a similar type of accident. That one was crazy because that guy was out hiking, and they found him in a dry storm drain ditch, but he had drowned. So, accidents happen all the time. I'm just going to leave that out there for you guys. Did you see this? Speaking of the Obamas, Michelle Obama was going to make all of our kids healthy, right? She she shut down the way school lunches were being done, and they changed the rules and the FDA and what is allowed in a child's lunch in school. And so she was going to make some money off of her little venture of making kids healthy, right? And it kind of backfired on her.
Remember Michelle Obama's fruit juice company? Having a best-selling book, Netflix deal, Spotify podcast, and a speaking tour wasn't enough. Michelle wanted a fruit juice empire. She came up with this thing called Plezi. Said it was healthy for kids. It's not. It has a list of ingredients a mile long. I can't even pronounce half of them. Primetime tasted it. It was like watered-down Juicy Juice. We were always suspicious of this stuff, so we FOIA'd the USDA. Turns out Michelle's company asked the USDA if their fruit juice was healthy enough so she could sell it in schools. And the USDA said, no way, Michelle. Michelle's fruit juice has been banned from being sold in schools. It's too watered down. It's too sweet for kids. And we reached out to Michelle's fruit juice company, and they said, well, you know what? We didn't want to sell fruit juice in schools anyway.
So after all of that, making sure our kids were healthy and fit, she couldn't even come up with a product that was healthy enough to be able to be sold in fucking schools by the corrupt, influenced FDA. I mean, if Obama couldn't put pressure on the FDA to get their product through, makes me wonder what the heck. As we continue with these shitheads, because that's what they are. Let's see. Yeah, I think we covered this on Saturday, maybe. Let's see. Stop. Yeah, we did actually. So China is killing Americans. Nikki Haley wants to stop normal trade relations with China until they stop killing Americans with fentanyl. And Caitlin Johnstone, shut up, you stupid asshole. And that's exactly it. I mean, we've talked about it so many times. I know we haven't done it to hell and back in a long time, but I really always keep an eye on, what's going on with fentanyl and addiction in our country. And yeah. The base chemicals, some of them, yes, come out of China, but this can be made anywhere. Any lab in the world can make fentanyl. Any bathtub in the world can make fentanyl. But yeah, let's cut off normal trade to China, and everything around you is gone. Let's see. My TV made in China. My modems made in China. My camera made in China. My mic made in China. Everything around me was made in China. So you tell me if we shut down trades, how the American people are going to survive. That's so insane. Okay, so we've been talking about SNAP program, right? Which is EBT, which got cut in March. Yeah, it was March, end of February, March. They cut the extra that they were giving people to live on during COVID. So for 2.5 years, everybody who normally got $200 in food stamps got $300 in food stamps. Normally it was $100 to $200 more, depending on what you qualified for. So they cut that back right at the same time that inflation was hitting record highs, like inflation that we have never dealt with in our entire fucking lives. And they rolled that back. So now people are living on half of what they could have got with the original $200, right? So they might as well only have $100 now is what it comes down to. They went from having $300 to $100 when they started out with $200. That's what our government has done to EBT and SNAP benefit recipients in this country. And it's so terrible. I mean, so many people I know are on fixed incomes. They have to live month to month, right? They get their monthly allotment from their, Social Security, and they go to the grocery store and they can literally buy a week's worth of food. That's supposed to last them for a month. I mean, I've been checking out these, how they have these influencers that do videos of live on $35 for the week. That's insane. Go ahead, go to the dollar store, spend $35 on food for the week and see how healthy you are at the end of it. I mean, you're not buying anything that has any nutritional value. Fruits, vegetables, super expensive. You got to get down to the farmers markets. The farmers markets takes EBT too in most areas I've noticed. So anyways, the Democrats have promised us that the Farm Bill is going to save all the EBT recipients, right? So AOC's out there, and now she's virtue signaling because the food banks, they don't give out kosher food. That is just wrong. Well, I'm sorry. I guess the kosher food's not past date and rotten enough for them to give it to us, because that's what it comes down to. And I have received kosher food from the food bank as long as it's expired, because nothing goes to the food bank that isn't expired or rotten. You literally have to go through your bags that you get from the food bank the same day, clean everything up fruit and vegetable wise, which is good because they never used to give us fruits and vegetables. I'm telling you, I grew up on food banks since the 70s, and normally it was canned goods and dried goods. But now we're starting to get some fresh fruits and vegetables, but normally it's the rotten stuff. So if you don't eat it within a day or freeze it or cook it, then, it's going to go bad. But I am thankful for the few things that we get that I can save. But okay, let's hear from AOC how the Farm Bill is going to save us.
Right now, there is a federal law that expressly forbids some of the food insecurity programs at the USDA from requesting halal and kosher foods. So there are resources and funds to feed our community, but those funds say that it is not allowed to pay for halal food, not allowed to pay for kosher food. And we want to change that. We believe that we can use the Farm Bill to eliminate the restrictions that the USDA faces in ordering halal and kosher food for our families and communities. So by expanding access to the federal government's value-added producer program, we can get these food producers the grants they need to ease the burden of producing this food. But we also have to fight back against the opposition to food stamps and food insecurity programs as well. We should not be cutting SNAP, WIC, and EBT. We should be protecting it, and we should be expanding it. Rising costs, rising inflation, grocery costs, these are causing more people to turn to food pantries. And we should make sure that we both reduce those costs and support our families and our wonderful community organizations like Met Council and the Parkchester Islamic Center who are doing this work.
So you may know that Fetterman is the one pushing the Farm Bill, right? He is the head of the Farm Bill. He somehow got that committee assignment. And I just want to point out that AOC's dress probably costs more than most Americans that are in that line spend in a month or two on groceries, So yeah, she's out there virtue signaling. Look at me. I want to feed the poor. And the Farm Bill is going to take back all restrictions so we can just give money or give food to the poor. That's what she's trying to tell people. And that's not it. The Farm Bill. We've been through the Farm Bill. Who was it who tore the Farm Bill down? Somebody over at INN. Oh my God. They're always bad. They're always shit. They're always full of stuff that is going to hurt people and empower the corporate elites, right? Because that's what they do. They'll give private contracts just to, somebody. And they end up pocketing it, giving it to the CEOs and not actually following through, because that's what we do in our country. That's how we take care of it. It's Natalie Williams' birthday. What? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Mitch McConnell didn't have a happy weekend. Did you guys see this? He got his ass fucking booed off stage. I booed off stage. We need to be doing this everywhere. So let's watch it.
Bipartisan cooperation and a string of
they used Turncoat Dawn. I love it.
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your press? Do you want to say anything else to the press? Go back.
Go ahead, John.
I'll take a break. Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
His own constituents in Kentucky. He doesn't even hear him. that turtle. I love how they superimpose that. Gotta move on. Did he even hear those people? For one, he's deaf as shit. We all know that. I mean, they walked right up to him and talked to him when, what? He doesn't hear. For one, I think he definitely heard that. But does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Mitch isn't elected by the people. We know Mitch isn't elected by the people. Mitch is bought and paid for, and he is very malleable. He'll do exactly what the elite want from him, his donors that own him. And his owners are not going to tell him he needs to retire because some of the constituents, those stinking constituents, told him he needs to retire. He ain't going nowhere. Just like Feinstein. Do you know, I had another clip on the deck, but I pulled it for time. Feinstein this week signed over a power of attorney to her daughter. So she's not even allowed to make decisions for herself, but she is voting for you. Yeah, that's where we're at. And not to mention that Nancy Pelosi's daughter is her handler. That's her caregiver. And this is just how they're controlling it, right? You know that Nancy called her daughter up and said, "Oh my God, Diane's losing it. She can't keep her shit together. I need somebody who's going to be there in real time to do damage control." And she tapped her daughter for that. So yeah, the nepotism in California. I showed you guys that chart on Saturday with the 5 families that run everything in California. Yeah, that's the Pelosi's for sure. But that's not the only example of a crowd shouting somebody down. Did you see the Obama getting shouted down too? Fuck Joe Biden. This is great. And you can tell he is frustrated.
Yes. So, come on. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I mean, we're having a conversation. Hold on a minute.
Oh, using his inside voice.
Listen everybody. Hey, y'all up there, pay attention. Here's what happens, listen.
I love it. Is this what it's going to be like going into 2024? Every single rally, every campaign stop is going to be mass Americans pushing back, because that's what the Democrats have asked for by arresting Trump and trying to convict him all these times, right? What is it Trump said this week? I just need one more indictment and I'll have this sealed. I mean, every time they indict him on something, his fucking numbers go up. And I get it. Americans are sick and tired of sitting here watching the corruption within the Democratic Party. Don't come at me and tell me the Republicans are corrupt too. I know, but they're not the ones who pull this shit constantly. I mean, what were the Dems thinking? Oh, I know. We'll convict Trump, and 50% of the country can just suck it. I mean, because we had the whole January 6th facade. Of course, we had the Russiagate bullshit lie that they perpetuated and are still trying to push. Are still pushing Russiagate. I mean, I want to see Americans out there pushing back. What else do we have? What else can we do to these people? What can we do? Except for show up and chant, "Fuck Joe Biden." I'll do it every time. Speaking of Joe Biden, his mouthpiece, yeah, she's going bye-bye. But let's talk about what she had to say first. Let's see. This was, oops, this happened on live TV with Peter Doocy. Peter Doocy dropping a deuce on her.
It's about to go down.
Thanks, Green. Why do you guys keep saying the Inflation Reduction Act is reducing prices?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Because in the Inflation Reduction Act, when you look at Medicare, when you look at what it's going to be able to provide, allow Medicare to negotiate lowering cost for seniors, that is reducing costs. When you think about seniors who are paying, again, I just stated this, $2,000, $3,000 a month, and it's going to now cap that at $2,000 a year, that is lowering costs.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
But a majority of Americans now say that price increases are causing them financial hardship that is more than at the start of the year. So where's the inflation reduction for everything else?
A few moments later.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, so
5 minutes later.
So as I said earlier, you know,
1 eternity later.
I'm just not going to go get ahead of the president. And with that, I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Yeah, we've been calling the Inflation Reduction Act the garbage that it is since the day that they fucking-toosed it and dropped it on us. And they're, you know, they just manipulate the numbers. We're not told the truth about any fucking number in this country. Crime, lied to constantly about. Election results, lied to about constantly. Unemployment numbers, employment numbers, you name it, they lie to us about it. Who knows if we've ever been told the truth about anything, but it sounds like there's an opening at the White House if you are interested in not getting ahead of the president, which is hard to do because he walks so slow. But let's hear from Jamie Spears on who's next.
At the White House, we're hiring a new press secretary. Are you at best moderately educated while carrying a low level of intelligence? Are you completely willing to not use any of your education or what little intelligence you do have?
I don't have anything. 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 I just don't have anything. I don't have anything. We don't have anything. I just don't have anything. Don't have anything.
Are you up to the task of giving nonsensical answers to very sensible questions?
So if you think about the 737,000,
are you good at saying what cocaine? If so, please put in your application now to be the next White House press secretary.
Why is the administration flying thousands of migrants from the border to Florida and New York in the middle of the night?
Well, I'm not sure that it's in the middle of the night.
Has President Biden ever been to the southern border?
In his life?
Yes.
I will have to look back in my history books. In terms of specific conversations, I'd refer to the State Department. They would have more specifics. I would send you to DHS for any more specifics.
Our first couple press secretaries have aged like rotten meat. And if you apply now, you could be the next one to get chewed up and spat out as you serve your government while disserving your country.
I just commented. We're moving on. Go ahead.
Do you have enough unwavering loyalty where you're willing to deny obvious facts? Are you willing to deny the existence of things in reality like laptops, bribery schemes, and gravity? Would you like to be hated? Are you already a felon? Can you tell lies without blinking or losing eye contact? If so, that's the kind of integrity we're looking for.
Let me finish. Let me give you the facts here. And I know that can be inconvenient, but I think they're important in this moment.
The job of White House press secretary comes with many perks, such as moderate pay, being seen as a liar, and being despised of. And it also comes with a disappearance clause in case you fall too far out of line. If you check 2 or more diversity boxes and have no conscience, you are more than qualified to represent our administration.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I already answered your question. Go ahead. Well, I did.
No, you didn't.
Well, it's your opinion. It's your opinion. That is your opinion. Go ahead.
But if you don't meet our diversity requirements that would make you well qualified for this position, as part of your application process, you can go through a sex change, racial change, or species change surgeries with our White House physician who identifies as a doctor. Once the blood stops dripping and your wounds start healing, you'll have the diversity necessary for us to seriously consider you as a candidate. Do you have the ability to give condescending answers to journalists who haven't taken the blood oath yet? Are you good at expressing contempt? Are you sociopathic enough that you don't care how terrible of a person we require you to be?
We're going to have to go on. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Emerald. I think you've had plenty of time today. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Part of the job of press secretary is for you to be unlikable enough that Americans everywhere develop a seething hatred towards you. This helps divert their hatred away from our administration and onto you.
The president, as you know, again, I appreciate the question and I get it, and the president understands. You guys want to ask him questions and have the opportunity for him to answer your questions.
We have a 2024 election to win, so taking one for the team is just part of the job.
I'm just going to cut it there. That's a long one, but funny. And it's true. I mean, every press secretary, and I'm not just talking under the Democrats. Go look at Trump's press secretary. Remember Spicy? He was fun. Obama's Carney, he was a big time liar, but he looked good lying, right? Just like Jen Psaki looked good lying. And never forget Nazi Barbie. Nazi Barbie was by far one of my favorite liars and White House liars. Yeah. So you got to be a good liar to be a press secretary. And that's all they do. They just sit up there and lie. Kate, I brought this one for you. We have to talk about Justin Trudeau and his newfound sexuality. Who knew? Who knew? You know, he's getting a divorce, or he got a divorce. I don't know. But he's single and living the good life now. Let's check it out.
Scary to see what's happening in the United States, whether it's 2S LGBTQI plus rights that are constantly being attacked. My government will never let it happen. My government will always stand up unequivocally for women's rights, for 2S LGBTQI plus rights.
The fascist says mine. My government would never let that happen. It's scary watching what's happening in the US. Well, it's scary watching what Trudeau is doing to Canada and Canadians. Let's talk about the truckers. Let's talk about the mandates. Let's talk about getting into people's bank accounts. Let's talk about the censorship. Yeah, a government doesn't announce that they've become fascists. They announce anti-fascists are the enemy of the state. And isn't that exactly what Trudeau did? It is just taken after his daddy, right? We all know. Let's see, the gray zone. Before leading the push to invade Niger, the ECO WASH chair, Bola Taboun, spent years laundering millions for heroin dealers in Chicago and has been married in corruption scandals ever since. Yeah, we know that. Of course, Alex Rubenstein and Kit Clarenberg did a great thread on this the other day. Obama wants to kill me, to take away the freedom of our country, to take away our free housing, our free medicine, and our free education, our free food, and replace it with American-style thrivery called capitalism. But all of us in the third world know what that means. It means corporations run the countries, run the world, and the people suffer. Muammar Gaddafi. Ooh, yeah, we came, we saw, he died. What we do as the Americans. Okay, this story, I brought this story to you last week. We have to talk about Gonzalo Lira, right? Now, we have advocated for him for a long time since he first got arrested, 8 months ago. And then, of course, he dropped a video last week because he was supposedly out of jail and he was going to run to the Hungarian border. And was it the Hungarian border? I think it was Hungary, or maybe it was Turkey. Either way, he was going to go ask for asylum, right? Because he was doing court last week. And if he went to court, he gets sent to Ukrainian work camp, which a lot of us were just like, yeah, he was just speaking truth, freedom of speech. He should be able to point out what the Ukrainian people are doing, or what the Ukrainian military is doing, So maybe some of us just jumped in blindly. But here, let's hear from Jimmy first on the situation. And then I want to hear from Scott Ritter, because some new information is coming to light, which makes me kind of pull back from the whole story.
So this says Chilean journalist arrested, but I'm pretty sure he's American also. Gonzalo Lira.
Coach Red Pill.
So they arrested him in Ukraine.
Right.
So this guy. Security Service of Ukraine on Friday confirmed the arrest of Gonzalo Lira, a Chilean national living in Kharkov. He's an American.
He's not an American citizen?
He's an American citizen, suspecting him of pro-Russian sympathies. Lira has been previously detained in April 22, but was released. According to the Ukrainian goons, they said that Lira publicly justified the armed aggression of Russia. He denied or glorified alleged Russian war crimes and engaged in discrediting the top military and political leadership and the defense forces of our state. In other words, he was using words to criticize a government. And so for that, they're putting him in jail.
Well, Ukraine's a great democracy, and this is another example of it. And of course, we should hope that they prevail.
So he did a little Twitter thread. He said, right now I'm about to try to get out of Ukraine and seek a political asylum in Hungary. Either I'll cross the border and make it to safety, or I'll be disappeared by the Kiev regime. I think this is...
Okay, so that was just kind of a quick recap. Of course, you can always go over to his Twitter page and read the whole thread, everything that he put out. You can go to his YouTube channel and read or watch all 3 videos, because he did a 3-part series explaining in his words what happened and what they did to him. He said he was tortured while he was being held in the Ukraine. They took toothpicks and stabbed them into the whites of his eyes. And he said that he was extorted for a lot of money, like tens of thousands of dollars, right? But yet he still has money. And yeah, he's from Chile, but he's been living in Ukraine since before the war. So there was a lot of questions, right? And I don't question. I see somebody who is being persecuted, prosecuted because of free speech, right? For speaking their truth. So of course I'm going to defend them. But then some crazy shit starts going down. So of course Scott Ritter and Eve Bartlett kind of did a thread saying, yeah, we're not buying this, and everybody should be a little leery of it because of the way that he got out and the fact that he still had money, he still had access to everything. They gave him some of his channels back, they gave him his Twitter back, and this might have been a grab for metadata, for your metadata, for my metadata, for anybody who would support him's metadata, so they can get an idea of where we are and who we are. And so I'm going to play this Scott Ritter. I think it's 5 minutes. It's slow, but it hits all the points. And then I will tell you my own personal experience since all this happened. That's making me totally leery. So here we go. Scott Ritter. And yes, I want to point out before I play this, there is a personal beef between these two. Ritter and Lira have a personal beef. I guess Lira was pissed about the things that Scott said while he was being detained. And Scott was just speculating, like, well, nobody's heard from him. He might be dead, because that's what they do, right? But I guess that pissed Lira off. So know that there was previous beef there, just for context.
I know you hate being asked about Gonzalo Lira, but after these tweets, I just want to know your opinion on it. It's pretty crazy to read. But anyway, thanks.
Do you have any idea what you might be talking about?
I do actually have a lot of ideas, because unlike what my normal restraint when it comes to Mr. Lira, those tweets set me off. So I've been engaged in a little bit of Twitter play, or Xeet play, X play. Who knows what we call it nowadays? But what
Funny
I would
you should say that, Scott. I have your cheeky tweets right here. It seems that you don't really buy what Gonzalo Lira has been saying, so to speak. Go ahead.
Well, let's frame it up. First of all, let me just start off with the following statement. I wish Gonzalo Lira no harm. I understand he has a family. He has 2 children that he dotes over. And I want him to be reunited with them. I want him to be reunited with his whole family. I want them to be safe and prosperous. If he's writing a book, I hope it's a bestseller. If he can get that book made into a movie, I hope he can get Sean Penn to play him, and it's just an Oscar-winning performance and all that. I wish no harm to Gonzalo Lira whatsoever.
All right, well, why don't you give folks a little summary of what his tweet thread was about, and also the video he posted yesterday?
Well, I think we even have to go back further than that. Gonzalo Lira, I think everybody knows, is a former lifestyle coach who sometime at the end of 2021, early 2022, started tweeting critically of the Ukrainian government. Anyways, I did the Twitter Spaces. He, asked good questions. He has a very large audience. But this was something that was facilitated by a member of the Duran crew, and both Alex and myself were concerned that Gonzalo was speaking out so harshly against the Ukrainian government while living in Kharkov, and our concern was magnified once the war started, and he continued to speak out. I did a YouTube appearance, and we're talking lengthy appearances. My time in the intelligence business is dated somewhat, but we knew how to track IP numbers and things of that nature. And I don't care how good Gonzalo Lira thinks he is. He is a known name at a known address. The Ukrainians had to know what he was doing, and yet they let him continue doing it. And I found that to be suspicious and or foolhardy. One of his tweets, he pinned, he listed a series of names, and he said, if I'm ever missing for more than 12 hours, assume that I've suffered the same fate. And some of the people, all those people have been arrested, tortured by the Ukrainian government for the crime of speaking out. Some of them have been killed. In April, he disappeared for 5 days. And I was concerned. There was no explanation. Suddenly on Twitter, people started posting things that were linked to the Kraken unit, which is an intelligence unit noted for its right-wing political leanings and its murderous approach towards people. The Boatswain is a notorious character who slaughtered people in Bucha, and he's claiming that his buddy in Kraken had arrested and was torturing Gonzalo. And so nobody was speaking out. And so I wrote an article, and I sent some tweets, and then I wrote an article trying to draw attention to this. And the article, I said, if the reports of Gonzalo Lira's death are true, then the silence of the Western media and journalists is deafening. And I thought I was doing Gonzalo a favor, trying to draw attention to this, trying to see if he was alive. Maybe there could be intervention to bring him back and all this. Well, he was alive. He was released shortly thereafter, and he took umbrage, extreme umbrage, I should say, at what I did. He accused me of, saying he had been murdered, that he was dead, and I'm like, dude, I didn't say that. You said that. You said if you're 12 hours gone, boom. Anyways, he started viciously attacking me, and at that point in time, as you know, I said I just really don't want to have anything more to do with this guy. I don't trust him at all. First of all, he was arrested by the SBU ostensibly because of his online activity. He's now released by the SBU, and he's being given access to his computers and his phones to continue the exact same online activity that got him arrested to begin with. That to me means he's a controlled asset of the SBU. The SBU released him and is allowing him to do this. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why would the SBU allow him to do this? Because people are like, well, he's critical. He's critical of the Ukrainians. Well, first of all, Gonzalo has no original content, especially after his arrest. Gonzalo's job was to bring people in and have a conversation and listen to people and draw out conversations and to get followerships and get people to chime in. He did so on social media platforms that have subscriber lists. Remember, everything about him is now controlled by the SBU. So anybody who is participating, subscribing, otherwise being involved in Gonzalo Lira's online activities, he's literally, the SBU is sucking in this data. So
Okay, so they're sucking in the data is what Scott's saying. Now, I've met Scott. I've had conversations with him. You either love him or you hate him. There's a lot of people that that tear Scott down for previous charges, which some say were a setup. I don't know. He seems to be very rational to me, though, and he knows and he understands these foreign, assets or intel. And so I wouldn't have even thought anything about this. I would have just been like, yeah, whatever. But within maybe 2 hours of me sharing out Lyra's tweet saying that he was going to go to the border. He wasn't even at the border yet when I shared that tweet out, because for some reason, and I told you guys this, his YouTube channel showed up in my algorithm on YouTube. Now, since when does YouTube put dissidents or anybody who's talking shit about anything into your feed that you don't follow? Because I followed him on Twitter. I didn't follow him on YouTube. So I saw the video. He wasn't even at the border yet. It only had been posted for 15, 20 minutes when I saw the first video. So I go to Twitter. I see his tweets. I read the whole thread. I retweet his tweet. 20 minutes later, I'm not even kidding, I get a personal message on Facebook from an Alexander who says, and here, I'll find it and read it to you really fast, who says, "Good afternoon. I'm an activist from Russia, and now I'm creating a project dedicated to the prevention of a global war. And now I'm gathering activists and experts from different countries in order to create an unified plan to prevent a world catastrophe. I saw you in an anti-war group and decided to write you. Would it be possible to record an interview with you on this topic?" And I told you guys about this last week. I talked to him. I went and checked out his Twitter. But the weird thing to me was he found me in an anti-war group. Where? I'm not in any anti-war groups. I don't do Facebook really anymore. I might have been in an anti-war group over there a long time ago, maybe back in the Bernie days. I don't. But I don't actively participate in anti-war groups. So that makes me go, And the other thing that really makes me go, we didn't have one friend in common, which, okay, he lives in Russia, right? But if he's trying to reach out to American anti-war activists, there's a lot of bigger names than me who I'm friends with. And I just found it odd. He doesn't know Houfi. He doesn't know Tara Reid. He doesn't know any, E. Bartlett, any of these people that we have in common. So, I mean, and then he got very persistent. Can you record a video tomorrow? And then he sent me this whole list of questions. I think I read the questions to you. An Assange rally? I was like, maybe as an Assange activist. So I don't want to count this guy out, but I got to say, I find it really fucking weird that within an hour of me tweeting Lyra, I had a Russian in my inbox. So here's the thing. I don't mind doing an anti-war video for anybody. I really don't. That's my stance. That's where I'm at, but I don't want it weaponized. I don't want it weaponized against us, our movement, anti-war. I don't want to be the picture of propaganda in Russia. I don't want to be a picture of the enemy in the Ukraine. So I'm just going to stay underneath this one, but I wanted you guys to be aware of what was being said and who was saying it. So to each their own opinion. I don't know shit. Is he an asset of this Ukraine group? I don't know. I really, how would anybody know? I find it odd. They let him out 3 days before he's supposed to go to trial, and they give him all his shit, and they give him his money, and they give him his card. I mean, and Lyra is saying, well, I just took it as they told me to get the hell out of here. Okay, I don't know. A Russian in my inbox. Yeah, a Russian in my inbox. I just find it weird. So I don't know. Maybe I'll let it be for a while. And if he reaches back out to me, I'll just explain to him that I got a little spooked. This is the reality we live in now. We live in this Cold War, edge of a hot war, and none of us wants to be used as Hanoi Jane. I mean, that's the way I see it. So just letting you guys know. You guys know I'm so fucking transparent. I tell you guys everything. You guys know more than fucking people that, are in my life every day. So there you guys have. Okay, so dear aliens, whatever you do, don't sign any treaties. Yeah, don't sign any treaties. Because We don't honor them. The people of the earth, we don't honor treaties. We have a long history of that. So no worries about that kill list you're on, Lyra. We're just kidding. Yeah. I like the Duran too, Death to Tyrants. I really do. When I'll run through Rokfin in the morning. I always listen to Rokfin when I get dressed in the morning. Just like I make myself, because I want Rokfin to get the views and to have the traffic over there. And I wake up, first thing I do is listen to Jason B. You guys know I'm a huge Jason Burmis fan. I've loved Jason Burmis for a long time, which is funny because when I first started watching We Are Change with Luke Wadowski, that's where I first came across Jason. He was like a commentator for Luke Wadowski. I was always like, I don't like this guy. Why is he on here? But now I love what Jason B does. So yeah, I go and watch Jason Burmis, and then this morning I listened to Dreyer, and then who else did I listen? I like T Live. Rokfin's a good place to go if you guys want good meaty information. Rumble, there's a lot of good stuff on Rumble, but my problem with Rumble is I have a hard time getting through it. Like the feed is terrible. It doesn't, like I'm just digging hit or miss over on Rumble to find a video. So I feel like it's more of a waste of my time. Okay, let's talk about California. This is a Brett Pella. Do you guys know who Brett Pella is? If you followed me for a while, you do. He's a comic out of California, and this is pretty funny.
Okay, what do we got? Well, there's a bill that would put child traffickers in jail for life. No. Nah. Wow, good point. Yeah, I never thought of it that way before. Putting somebody in jail for trafficking would probably increase trafficking somehow. That's Golden State logic, baby. Nice! Makes sense. I love this job. We should be protecting our criminals. Everyone hates criminals in California. They're really like a marginalized, oppressed group of people. And everyone knows if you're against trafficking, you're clearly a MAGA Trump supporter. Yeah, only crazy conspiracy theorists think human trafficking is real. Just for fun, let's pretend that human trafficking is a problem. Aw, boo! Well, long-term sentences for traffickers just won't do anything. Yeah, that'll just force the state to pay more money to keep terrible people in jail. Right, so we should keep those terrible people in the streets. That way the state doesn't have to pay for it. And that way, maybe they'll become better members of community because they're not stuck inside of a gross little tiny prison cell. Or as they call it in San Francisco, a studio apartment. Maybe instead of arresting traffickers, we can give them like a job. We can make them like a traffic officer, like at a crosswalk outside of a school. Or a school bus driver. Or a second grade PE teacher. We're so smart. Hell yeah. Okay, how about this one? Now there's been a rise in shoplifting throughout California. Right, and what's been happening to the shoplifters? Well, sometimes the employees will record them on video so that they can show their video to police later. Oh no. And sometimes the store employee will even try to stop the shoplifter from stealing. Oh my Gavin. Okay, we can't have that. Let's make the new rule that store employees are required to do nothing when they see shoplifting happening in their store. But can they help? Ooh, yeah, that's good. That's good. They are allowed to help, okay? Like if a guy is scooping up a bunch of cologne bottles and it's really heavy, or they got a bunch of women's jackets over their shoulder and they're having trouble getting to the door, the employee of the store can help them to their getaway car, but no further. Nice. Oh, well that should help criminals have a smooth and easy process. In and out. Oh, I'll have a double, please. Oh, make mine animal style. Okay, I like this. This is good, okay? This prevents the store employees from getting into any type of conflict with an unpredictable criminal, but at the same time, it prevents our beloved criminals from getting into any real trouble, and it prevents us from having to think harder to figure out how to fix things. The only way to protect your business is to go out of business. The best way to protect a business in California is to encourage that business to leave California. Great work today, team. To California! Yeah! Hustlers, grab your guns, your shadow weighs a ton. Driving down the 101, California, here we come. Right back where we started from. California, here we come.
I love the OC. That was I was going to move to Newport Beach with all the rich people when I'd watch OC. That was funny because that's the reality of it, right? I mean, have you guys see the video? Willie shared it. It's over on Willie Braggs' page where the man is robbing a 7-Eleven in Boston, and he's literally just wheeling a garbage can around the store, dumping cigarettes and shit into it. And finally the owners can't take it anymore, and they grab like a broomstick and beat this dude's ass. I mean, like they pinned him down to the ground and beat his ass. And we're going to see a lot more of that because they lie to us so badly about crime. I mean, you cannot put tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out on the street homeless, without jobs, without access to food, and then expect no crime at all. And yeah, they're trying to tell us that crime's gone down, but homelessness is up. I mean, you have to be a complete idiot not to believe this shit. So more crime coming to you. I mean, the other day, my partner we pulled a lot of cash out to go pay for the car, and he's like, I don't think I want to, have this in my wallet while I'm out out and about. And I was like, yeah, that's probably smart. People are hard up nowadays. Okay, let's talk about Jamie Foxx. He stepped in it again this weekend, or did he? So he put out a tweet that said, they killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. And people were like, ooh, who's he going after? What friend? Is it a friend who stabbed him in the back or something? Well, we never knew who he was actually talking about, but Jennifer Aniston had to make this all about her because she jumped in. She apparently had retweeted it. I don't think she put anything on it, but she says, this really makes me sick. I did not like this post on purpose or by accident. And more importantly, I want to be clear to my friends and anyone hurt by this showing up in my feed. I did not support any form of anti-Semitics, and I truly do not tolerate hate of any kind, period. So poor Jamie Foxx, he just tweets out this thing about, yeah, they killed Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? And then he has to put out a I'm not anti-Semitic tweet. So he says, I want to apologize to the Jewish community and everyone who was offended by my post. I now know my choice of words has caused offense, and I'm sorry. That was never my intent. To clarify, I was betrayed by a fake friend, and that's what I meant with they, not anything more. I only have love in my heart for everyone. I love and support the Jewish community. My deepest apologies to anyone who was offended. Nothing but love always. So yeah, they read into this that they meant the Jewish community instead of the global cabal that is in charge. And why Jennifer Aniston? Some people are saying it was Jennifer Aniston that he was originally talking about. So I don't know, but let's hear from Monique. You know who Monique is? She is the dollar store Oprah. Oprah burned her to the ground a couple of times anyways, but she's a comic. She does a bunch of different stuff. But anyway, she was doing an interview with Roseanne Barr because, Roseanne's freaking top of the fucking pile right now. And so let's hear what she had to say about Jamie Foxx.
Seeing you with these sunglasses. There's no sun in here. And you being disrespectful. I need to be able to see you, right? So he laughing, and I walk to the other side of the stage. I come back. I said, you think I'm playing? If you don't take them damn glasses off. Roseanne, he lifted up his glasses and everything was black.
Oh, he didn't have any eyes?
Did you hear what I said?
What?
Everything was black.
Okay, so who's seen They Cloned Tyrone over on Netflix? Now, I had heard the rumors that Jamie Foxx had been cloned before I even saw the movie. I was flipping through Netflix a couple weeks ago. I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I started watching it, and it was kind of hard to get through the first few minutes of it. But once I did, it was actually a pretty good movie. And basically, the plot is that a whole entire town has been cloned. And underneath the town is this big government facility where they're cloning people, and it's called They Cloned Tyrone. And so for everybody saying that they cloned, Fox. Okay, so there's a few different conspiracies going on here. They all kind of come together. Jamie apparently got some dirt on Oprah. That's what I was explaining on Friday to you guys. And apparently he was telling people about it. So then they say the studio heads forced him to get a vaccine. Now, if you're paying attention, there's good vaccines, there's bad vaccines. And apparently they gave Jamie a bad vaccine and it damn near killed him. And so that is why, they say what they say. And I don't know if it's just a coincidence that movie came out, They Cloned Tyrone, and that's why they're saying he's cloned. But that story of cloning in Hollywood has been around for a long fucking time. A long time. Like Seth MacFarlane was telling us that Britney Spears and Miley Cyrus were clones 15 years ago. I'm not even kidding. 15 years ago. So what does it mean? I don't know what it means. Normally there's a little bit of truth to all conspiracies. So what is the truth part of that cloning? Because you guys know how I feel about cloning. How the hell are they doing that? How do they clone somebody and age them to 45 years old? So are they making a full-on body clone? I mean, we're told that motherfucker's not real. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about some history. So history's changing. They found a non-human species. Did you hear about this? Non-human species. And Russell Brand does a good job of breaking it down. This is a long clip, but I think we'll make it through it. So, and then she was like, and that motherfucker right there is not real. Yeah, right. Okay, let's watch.
Scientific world, and really to all of us. It is about the mysterious extinct human species, Homo naledi. The new discovery suggests that this species may have intentionally buried its dead and carved symbols above the graves on cave walls long before the earliest evidence of burials by modern humans.
I suppose the significance of burying your dead is that it indicates a potential belief in the afterlife. It suggests a reverence for life itself. And if these potentially idiot monkey people were having funerals, were they also having piss-ups? Why are they carving symbols? What's the significance of it? What does this tell us about the origins of thought, the origins of language, and the nature of our own ceremonies? Why is it we feel so deracinated and lost and so hopelessly adrift in the world when all of our rituals have become bereft of meaning, when we're told that the only things that matter are the things that we can measure, and our systems of measurement are becoming increasingly unreliable? I don't just mean the institutions of orthodoxy, but our senses themselves are limited. We are all the time uncovering and discovering truths about our shared history that suggest we need to revise not only the present and the way that we live and our systems of power and governance, but our entire perspective on the past.
Working in incredibly tight spaces in the Rising Star Cave system in South Africa, a team of researchers last year made these and many other discoveries about this ancient species, and our next guest was part of that expedition. Here he is describing one of the engravings just moments after he discovered it.
I can't believe what we're seeing, and we're seeing scratch marks.
Let me out of that goddamn grave! It's odd to consider that once, 100,000 years ago, or whenever it was, these funerals, these ceremonies were carried out, and now, down there in the dank and undisturbed darkness, might have been a fraction of a second, the graves are being disrupted and disturbed by curious archaeologists.
Sort of what you call petroglyphs, which are in pictures or carvings carved into rock.
We know what a petroglyph is.
Look at the scale of these things.
They went to all that trouble to render those deaths in such a dignified manner, only for him to get out that ruler and start measuring stuff. And look at this little guy. Call that a dick?
Well, I'm so happy that we're joined now by the man.
He's definitely styled his wardrobe on Indiana Jones, hasn't he? He's definitely gone,
gosh.
well, I'm an archaeologist. I'm going on the news. I'm wearing an Indiana Jones outfit.
We had discovered these burials, or we realized we had burials in 2018. We were on this National Geographic expedition. We were down there. I saw the burials, but I've only ever seen this thing through video. And we had these questions over COVID. And
yeah, we've all got questions over COVID, mate.
We could not get them answered. Only 47 humans had ever been in there. And so I decided I needed to get in there and test them. And when I got in there, I started making these discoveries. You know, our missions were always very focused. Saw those symbols. Blew my mind.
What do you know what they mean?
Do you know what they mean? It's not going to know what they mean from an archaic species 100,000 years ago who are distinct from human beings in numerous ways. Yeah, I think they were saying, can you let me out of this grave? I'm not dead yet.
And this is a dumb question, but
and
like,
that's an important point.
How can you conclude what you think they are?
This is not a human species. They have a brain a third the size of ours.
Oh, a third. It's extraordinary to think that there was a time where our planet was inhabited by human-like creatures and potentially Homo sapiens simultaneously. It's possible to imagine entirely different trajectories for civilization. All of our assumptions around the way that power is organized, the way that our systems operate, are built upon a shared consensual history about the nature of our journey, the way that we arrived here together.
It's about the size of a chimpanzee's. And they're carving symbols 150,000 years before humans even think of doing that. They look familiar to us. Crosses, boxes, triangles, hashtags.
150,000 years before human beings had language or made symbols, they're using things like triangles and crosses. Does that suggest that there's a deep archetypal intelligence that expresses itself through matter? One of the ideas around the origin of consciousness is that consciousness doesn't emerge from biological processes, but consciousness precedes biological processes. Max Planck, the physicist, said you cannot get behind consciousness. Information like this is a further suggestion that consciousness may predate matter and that there's a certain point in the evolution of a species where consciousness becomes accessible. If you imagine consciousness to be like a signal and a brain to be like a radio, the brain is the recipient of consciousness rather than the generator of consciousness. And the presence of archetypal geometric shapes, there's no reason for the grieving relatives of that monkey man to start conceiving of triangles and crucifixes. It's an extraordinary thing for Cameron from Modern Family, Indiana Jones man, to observe that down there 150,000 years ago, they have references to triangles and hashtags. Hashtag, I'm not ready to go yet. Hashtag, there's a universal consciousness. Hashtag, why is our species about to be wiped out by Homo sapiens? It's extraordinary that they've got access to that.
And yet,
okay, you guys get the gist of that story. We may never know what they meant. Yes, we'll never know what they meant. Okay, so when I grew up, when you guys grew up, they were always talking about the missing link, right? But we found a lot of missing links since then, and they don't call them missing links any longer. And I love what Russell says about we have this agreement on a shared history of how we got here. But if you're paying attention, everything that we were ever taught is fucking bullshit. It's all being blown out of the water. How long humans have been here, how long we've been civilized, I'm really paying attention to, I watched a 3-hour documentary on the Gaglobe Temple, which is this ancient it's not a burial site. It was like a ritual site that predates Stonehenge in Turkey. And there's a couple others in Turkey. And it literally blows our timeline completely out of the fucking water. And people like, Graham have been saying it for a long fucking time that we've got our history wrong. And now they're starting to dig shit up like this. So yeah, we got our history wrong. We were all told different things. Okay, so geomagnetic storms are at a high right now. Have you guys noticed this? Are you following space news or space weather? I love the space weather. Anyway, so for the last 3 years, I've been reporting to you that we go through an 11-year cycle where we get these solar maximums. And our sun decides it's going to spit filaments and shit out, and that's where our space weather comes from. And of course, the Earth has its magnetic poles, and we have our protective force field around the Earth, right? That saves us from getting all of that radiation, space radiation, sun radiation spit at us. And there's a lot of talk that the poles are moving at the same time that we're hitting this solar maximum, which of course is giving us the beautiful aurora borealis. Oh my God, it's been insane around here the last couple of weeks. Some of the pictures are just mind-blowing. The Younger Dryas, yes, the Younger Dryas, but that was just the first one. They say there was 6 of those Younger Dryases that we went through. Of course, they're all named different things. So are we headed for another Younger Dryas? Are we headed for a cataclysmic global reset? Because apparently we've had them in our history. Everybody wanted to say that the great flood of Noah, that was made up Bible shit, but every single civilization out there on the whole fucking earth has some kind of flood story, which means there has to be some kind of truth to it, right? So there's just a lot of little pieces that are starting to come together, like, oh, maybe there's something really fucking bad come in, and the global elite know it. That's why we're in the state that we're in, because Oz and I say it all the time. They act like they know something we don't. Like, they just don't care. We are going full stream off of, the broken bridge on that train, and we're not stopping. Why? So let's watch this first. I want to say, I'm not sure what this is. We'll just hit play.
The Journal of Nature published a new study that states with 95% confidence that a catastrophic event will take place starting as early as 2025 and affect every human on the planet, disrupting weather patterns and creating climate chaos, including deadly droughts, the melting of the ice caps, and sea level rising. Almost every mainstream corporate news media source has picked up this story and spread the study, sounding the alarm for 2025. But is this just more hyped up environmental hysteria, or an indication of what will happen in less than 2 years? The study predicts a, quote, forthcoming collapse of the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, also known as AMOC, a natural process which circulates water from north to south and back again in a long cycle within the Atlantic Ocean that helps regulate the Earth's climate, as well as carry nutrients to sustain ocean life. Whether or not the AMOC really does collapse in 2025 may or may not be true. Only time will tell. Perhaps it will just continue to ebb and flow, strengthening and weakening over time as it always has. But the real question is, why 2025? It seems this date has been singled out by scientists, intelligence organizations, and global elites as a time of great destructive and abrupt change, which will ultimately destroy the current state of society. In 2020, I produced a 3-part series called What Will Happen in 2025, which examines some of these predictions. The first was from Deagle.com, which predicted a massive drop in population and GDP in the US, Canada, and most European countries, while Russia, China, India, and other members of the BRICS alliance maintain their population growth and explode in their GDP. Why did Deagle.com predict this dramatic change for 2025? Since then, they've removed these predictions from their site, certainly at the behest of their partners in NATO, the NSA, and the UN. The second prediction for 2025 was made by Global Trends in 2008, and similar to Deagle.com, their report forecasted an end to U.S. dominance on the world stage and, quote, an historic transfer of wealth and power from west to east, signaling a shift to the BRICS alliance. They also predicted that a single international community of nation-states would no longer exist. Almost a post-global government prophecy. All of this from the U.S. Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The third and creepiest 2025 prediction was from Alice A. Bailey, also known as the Prophetess of the United Nations, in her 1957 book, The Externalization of the Hierarchy, published by Lucifer Trust. She predicts illumination to mankind from the forces of light for the coming one, and that the crises of today will lead to a massive educational, religious, and economic change until 2025 AD. Quote, a great awakening in the human family and a major spiritual reorientation. And spoiler alert, she's not talking about the second advent of Christ. She's talking about Satan and his legions revealing themselves and the power structure they've used to control the world. In other words, the title of her book, The Externalization of the Hierarchy. So what will really happen in 2025? Climate chaos, famines, mass death, economic collapse, and a satanic deception to ensnare mankind?
Thanks, I'm muted. So I don't claim to know the future. I don't claim to know what's coming, but I know that what is coming seems to be getting worse every freaking year, right? And good point about the Y2K. Of course, we took the Y2K shit way too serious, right? The planes are gonna fall out of the sky. I owned a video store at the time, and I had to make sure all my computers were set right. You know, we didn't want to wipe out all our systems, that type of thing. Nothing happened, right? Absolutely. We partied the night away. I'll never forget it. And so, 2020, they predicted shit for 2020. They always predict shit. But there seems to be some converging shit going on here. Definitely the solar maximum is happening. Definitely our poles are walking. I thought I had another one in here. Oh, I do. Let's talk about super lightning storms and the magnetic pole shift, okay? Because One is designed to protect us from the other, but what if we lose both at the same time? What if the sun starts spitting shit at us at the same time that our poles are moving and our invisible force field breaks down? Think about it. I mean, that could be a bad fucking time for us. So let's check out. This is Suspicious Observer. I followed Suspicious Observer for like 10 years now. I trust his science. I know there's some out there that don't, but let's hear what he has to say about super lightning storms in the magnetic pole shift. So apparently lightning is going to get really bad.
Average geomagnetic excursion would take us. If the little variations on the chart are enough to noticeably impact so many weather phenomena, imagine what this will do. To further elucidate this drastic change, let's look at what happened during Le Champ, the worst event of the last 100,000 years. Folks, we're talking about a major shift in the radiation environment of Earth that hasn't been seen in thousands of years, and it's going to come to reality in the next few years to maybe up to 2 decades at the most. In our textbook, we compiled all of the data on this. This is just the papers on lightning forcing by cosmic rays, and it is significant. So, with Earth's magnetic field shifting now, it's no surprise that many lightning records have fallen in the last 5 years. You can get the textbook, by the way, at the link below the video in the description box. The reason cosmic rays trigger lightning is because of their electrification impact on the atmosphere. The ambient electricity amplification also helps water stick to dust, which is why it impacts clouds and storms overall, but the radiation electrification itself is directly tied to lightning strikes. Just one cosmic ray breaks out into hundreds of secondary particles in the cascade, and a cosmic ray strikes every square inch of the upper atmosphere every second. Right now, there are thousands, if not millions, of these breakout particles all around you, and even going through you. The impact of such a drastic elevation of cosmic rays and atmospheric electrification is profound. We're not just talking about normal lightning storms, we're talking super bolts and levels of lightning discharge rates unlike anything anyone has ever seen, beyond what many of us could even imagine. Of course, this radiation is also what will be destroying the ozone at the same time, as we mentioned, providing that direct radiation impact to the biological life on Earth. The solar protons should be expected to increase as well, with about a doubling of penetration counts, which will have a primary impact on that ozone level, and that of course will further enhance the cascade breakouts that reach the surface. There are a lot of elements to worry about in this ongoing geomagnetic shift, but the space radiation is a major one, if not the most major. It's what has been most tied to species extinction, weather shifts, and it will bring the kind of lightning that made our ancestors blame the gods for the sights in the sky. I will see you in the morning.
Okay, so someone asked me if I had plans for the fall. It took me a moment to realize they meant autumn and not the collapse of civilization. Now, and somebody saw it. I don't know who said it. Maybe it was Son of Clay. Yeah, this guy's science is weak, and I've heard that argument about him. And there's been a lot of things that he said that I don't absolutely support, but I do appreciate his solar reports in the morning. I mean, those are straight up. Those are coming from the instruments that are measuring it from the space lab. And so, I mean, regardless of what he's saying, when I go in there, I'm looking to see what the sun is spitting at us. You know, that's what I want to know. And yeah, the guy's a bad joke. I know there's a lot of people that don't like him, but here's the thing. What he's saying about the poles are moving. The poles have been moving for a long fucking time, and they always move, right? They say the poles are always moving, but right now they're moving at a much faster rate and it's speeding up. So, you know, the North Pole is not over the North Pole anymore. It is over, you know, quite a bit of a ways. And so there's a lot of talk that the poles could flip. The poles do flip. Apparently the poles have flipped like 5 times, 10 times in the, you know, millions of years. And what does that mean for the people, for the beings on the earth? They don't know. They don't know. Maybe nothing happens, and maybe our magnetic field stays intact. They don't know. They don't know. But they do know that it is moving. So that you can assure of. But I wanted to bring you guys a video, and I couldn't bring it today because I would have taken a YouTube strike. And I'll bring it on Friday. The next Uncensored, I'm going to bring this video. There was a book called Adam and Eve, and it was wrote by a really renowned physicist, Thomas, back in the late 40s, early 50s. And as soon as he published the book, the CIA took it and they classified it. So we're told anyways. But he talks about how when these magnetic shifts come, that it's going to wipe everything out on Earth. Because imagine you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and then you fucking stop and you start going the other way. There's going to be tidal waves 2,000 feet high. There's going to be a wind 1,000 miles an hour that'll just wipe everybody off the Earth. It'll literally reset us in 24 hours, much like they say happened to Atlanta. They'll say, that we'll be under the sea and we'll just be a distant memory within literally fucking minutes. And I live out here on the Olympic Peninsula. You can see it behind me. And we've had these tidal waves come in before. There was one in 1701 that the local natives still talk about. And that was a 50-foot high wall of water, of course, when the Cascadia slipped, which it's due to do again. But, they say that there is proof that we have a lot of volcanic activity when the solar maximum's going off, a lot of earthquakes, I don't know, we'll just have to pay attention. But the CIA didn't ban that book. You're absolutely right. They checked it and then they said, no, we released all of it. So we're told that the whole book was released. But what's crazy about that book, Adam and Eve, the foreword was wrote by Einstein. He was friends with Einstein, and Einstein wrote both the forewords to his books, from what I understand. Just some crazy shit that I pay attention to. They do build these deep military underground bunkers. I've been telling you about the DUMBs for years now. All of the elites have them. They all have evacuation plans to go hide in their DUMBs. Now, what are they hiding from? Us looting? Us and the guns, or something bigger? I don't know. So you guys can figure that out. Go dig deeper if you're interested in that story. Let's see. I got this from Reef. So Maine residents puzzled by mysterious purple smoke filling the sky. And Reef says the lobster Pope has been chosen. Yeah, the lobster Pope has been chosen. Why would there be? It's got to be a textile type of thing, right? Textiles always shoot colors into the sky depending on what color they're using. We see rivers turn, colors from textiles. So maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's a chemical. Who knows? Okay. It's happening. The mark of the beast. It's here. Everybody's paying with their hand. Have you seen these videos? I'll probably take a strike for one of these, but that's okay. Let's do it.
I'm at Whole Foods and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my work. That's the coolest thing ever.
That is not the coolest thing ever.
I put a microchip in my arm and it's the best thing ever. Friends react to contactless payment by my hand.
You have the chip.
Magic happened.
All right.
What happened?
Paying with my microchip implant.
I got the new microchip.
I'm just going to mute that so I don't take a copyright because it's all just music. But you can see they're just getting their hands scanned. They're paying with their palm. So when are you going to get your NFC chip? Soon? I barely got a card with a chip in it, let alone a chip in my arm. That is, and you know what? The kids are so excited for this. My adult children, they can't wait. They can't wait. They think it's going to be the greatest thing when they can just wave their hand and pay for everything. They're ready. That's what my son told me. I'm ready. Let's do this. They're ready to become cyborgs. And that right there is the transhumanist movement. It really is. I think this is almost over, right? Oh, no. More people still scanning. This is just insane. The amount of people doing it nowadays, that's crazy. Oh, it makes life so much more convenient. You don't need keys for your car, keys for your house. You don't need a wallet. Shit, you don't have to have anything except for your hand. I'll pass. I'm going to pass until it's absolutely necessary. And even then, I'm still going to pass. But that's not the only thing that is being automated. Did you guys see the robo delivery driver? Oh my God, these little robo carts. What did they expect people were going to do to these carts? Have they not seen what people do to the scooters in each city? Like, so check this out. Oh, I must still be muted. Come on.
Oh my God. Not snappy.
Oh man, look it. Somebody knocked him over. Who is it? It's Austin. They steal your food too? Austin got robbed.
Let's get it. Hop off a 10 passenger. I'm gonna mute that so I don't take a strike for it. What did we expect? You were gonna see a homeless, pregnant, half-naked American riding it like a bucking bronc. I mean, that's exactly what I expect from America. But I love how they all have their own names. That one was named Austin, the one that got robbed. Coming to a neighborhood near you, I guess. Why would you trust that your food would show up, for one, if you use that delivery system and not be effed with? Like, I don't order food, period. Like, the only time I get takeout, I go pick it up myself. But yeah, I'll pass. Thank you. Let's see. EU backs Bill Gates' plan to fight global warming by blocking out the sun. Yeah, that's not news. He's been doing that for a long time. We've been telling you about it. They're called chemtrails. Friends and family, after the news drops, why didn't anyone tell us? I tried hard, actually. Yeah, really. I've been trying hard to tell you guys for a long time about chemtrails. For a long time. But, it's just a contrail and you're crazy. Okay, let's see. But why didn't you tell them what was happening? I did. I told them every day for years. Let's see. This one's got an article with it. So let's go ahead and watch the video first and I'll go see what the article's about. Oh, I got to unmute it.
And if he didn't like what you said, he would, he was known for responding with the words,
"Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard."
That's ridiculous. I'm not using this thing. No. Somebody's confused. Somebody's just not thinking. I mean, there's no way.
We'll figure it out.
You guys never understood. You never understood the first thing about this.
He's a multi-dimensional individual. He has great depth in so many different areas.
Hi, kids.
You had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful.
Today we're announcing a commitment over this next decade, which we think of as a decade of vaccines.
The vaccine is critical because until you have that, things aren't really going to be normal. And it won't be normal until we get an amazing vaccine to the entire world. And for all 193 member states, you must make vaccines a high priority in your health systems to ensure that all your children have access to existing vaccines now and to the new vaccines that have recently become available. And keeping children alive, would that create more of a population problem?
That we're pledging an additional $1 billion to...
Thank you.
right, thank you. It's not every day we give away $1 billion.
My dad was head of Planned Parenthood. How to Lie with Statistics by Daryl Huff.
It's a quick read. It's got a lot of good examples in it.
Pie in the face.
Yeah, that's Bill Gates for you. I read somewhere that he was the #1 how do you say that word? Philanthropist last year. Are we shocked? I wasn't shocked. I was like, oh yeah, he's got to be shoving those vaccines. So let's see. Amazon plans palm scanning technology can let you buy a drink without getting your ID. Oh, that was the last one we just watched. Yeah, we know that. Let's see. EU backs Bill Gates' plan to fight global warming by blocking out the sun. August 5th, 2023. The EU has thrown its support behind Microsoft's co-founder Bill Gates' radical plan to fight global warming by blocking light from the sun to lower the temperature of the earth. So, yeah, international globalist effort, right? But those aren't chemtrails above you, even though the White House admitted a month ago that they were on board with Gates's plan to block out the sun. We've been telling you that they have been spraying this shit into the ionosphere for fucking years now. We know what it is. It's aluminum, it's barium, it's strontium. Yeah, they're trying to reflect the sun, and they do too. I'll never forget in 2016, I drove across the country for the DNC. And when we hit the Rocky Mountains, you couldn't see the Rocky Mountains on a clear goddamn day because there was so much haze in the air. And it wasn't pollution. It wasn't smog. It was the shit that they're spraying into our atmosphere. And they've been doing it for a long time. But hey, we're just conspiracy theorists. So Hillary Clinton preparing for a trip to Epstein's Island circa 1998. That's pretty funny. See, yeah, Jones knew. He told us she was a lizard person who smelled like cabbage and farts. Do you remember that one? That was pretty funny. You know what I watched the other day, which I thought was crazy because I saw it on YouTube of all things. It was the QAnon shaman on Alex Jones dropping truths about the three realities that we live in now, right? There's the collective cognitive dissonance reality. There is the collective actual reality. I was just like, why is this on YouTube? Like, okay, I have questions. I don't know. It's weird. Are you concerned that someone is thinking for himself? We care about preventing independence through thought on Facebook. Make sure to report friends who are exercising free thought. How can you help? Report any free thinking you see to Facebook. Report free thinking, close. And the funny thing is the comments under this post were, is this real? If you have to ask, we have a problem. And we do have a problem. For people to think that was real, that's the reality we're living in right now. That yes, Facebook does not allow you to have free thought. The algorithm, which we told you about at the beginning of the show, it knows everything about you. It knows exactly what mood you're in. It knows exactly what shopping you need to do. And it's going to put whatever in the feed it thinks is going to hit that little receptor in your brain. There you are. Let's see. Ex-ABC news journalist arrested and accused of possessing CP. Federal authorities say James Gordon Meek, 53 of Arlington, Virginia, was allegedly caught in online chatting, expressing enthusiasm for SA of children. Oh, this was the same guy who reported that Pizzagate was a hoax. Imagine that. When the reporter who debunks Pizzagate pleads guilty to CP. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. But I literally had somebody come in and try to tell me that the producer of Sound of Freedom was into CP and was arrested. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, the reporter's telling us not to watch it. They're the ones that keep getting arrested. Remember the CNN reporter too? It wasn't just ABC. CNN's got some bad ones too. Pete Buttigieg. I probably could have saved this for Wednesday, but we're here. Let's watch it.
There's nothing like the pride that you can take, whether it's as an involved citizen, an elected leader,
or an employee of the Department of Transportation, and seeing that you shaped the community that you live in. You literally designed people's commutes, including your own. And by the way, life-saving work. You save 5 lives on a hilltop in a war zone, and you'll rightly get a medal. You could save dozens of lives at a risky intersection by a better design. And there might not be a medal for that, but there's an enormous reward in knowing the difference that you're going to make.
Tell me about it. I have to eat a whole bottle of Prozac just to get through the second part of the month.
God, I need Prozac to get through the second part of the month too. I saw somebody ask if I had Valium. Yeah, I don't do any pharmaceuticals. You guys know that. Big Pharma already tried to kill me once with their poison, and I'm gonna say no, thank you, kindly. Pete Buttigieg, he's a pretty fart smeller, ain't he? He thinks he's the smartest motherfucker on the earth. Look, I saved thousands of people by designing this commute. I even saved myself. Don't count CIA Pete out. He's not going away because he is one of their tapped spoken boys. Let's see. Bread then, flour, salt, water, olive oil, sourdough starter, ferment for 3 days. Bread now, refined bleach with chloride treatment with potassium baramate, sunflower oil, fortified with iron, synthetic vitamins, made with GMO wheat, higher in gluten, not fermented at all. Yeah, that's the difference between what grandma ate and what we're eating. So make your own, grow your own. Do you guys see my harvest from yesterday? I got a pretty good little harvest out of the trailer park garden. My stuff is just dying though. I don't know. It's all the chemtrails are dropping on us. I swear to God. Let's see, a gold and diamond encrusted Hermes bag containing $9 million worth of jewelry and cash was stolen at an airport check-in counter. First of all, if you've got a name brand bag, you're already risking getting your shit ripped off, but then to shove $9 million worth of jewelry in it sounds like an insurance claim to me. Just saying. And I don't feel bad. We're getting to the end of the show. We're hitting the meme alley. This is meme alley. Let's see. They're dumbing us down to protect their own interests, but don't tell anybody. They won't believe you. Yeah, that's so true. ABC News suggested that parents put something important in the backseat to avoid accidentally leaving their kids in hot cars. Something important. Okay. And so what do we say to our intrusive thoughts? Not today, CIA. Not today. Guardian Agent Brad. Not today. I love that one because they're always listening, aren't they? Introducing the Kardashian bipolar. Okay. And the year is 2083. Gender no longer exists. We all identify as a different flavor of Doritos. I'm Cool Ranch, and this is my story. Yeah, that's probably it too, right? I mean, now they're fighting over baby names like Elvis. Everybody wants to name their kid Elvis. So new baby names. Just one crazy little gardening story. So this came up in my newsfeed yesterday, and it says, "Can you grow food in space? Register for the challenge. Help NASA plant the moon." And I was like, what is this shit? So I thought I would go check it out. Let me see. I got to show you the website. This is crazy. Hopefully this is the right one. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So when you click on that link, this is where it brings you to. So Plant the Moon Challenge. They want you to register your team so you can plant the moon or you can plant Mars. And each purchase includes, let's see, one team's registration of up to 10 students, one soil supplement pack, a pH meter, let's see, 10 small plants, 10 N95 masks, because you need N95 masks if you're going to be growing on Mars or the moon, and access to the digital PMTC project guide. So I was like, well, okay, how much is this? So when you hit apply here, guess what? They want like $499 to go. Yeah, you got to pick. Let's see. We'll pick spring. Okay. Best in show. Oh, this one doesn't tell you how. So this one already happened. But anyways, I just thought this was crazy. It's a money grabbing scam. It's like $500 fucking dollars, and they're going to send you 10 pots, some seeds, and a pH meter. And don't forget the N95. So you got to have 10 N95 masks because masks are still so important nowadays. I just thought that was crazy. Okay, NASA. Okay, NASA. We'll get on board and help you grow. Just crazy story. I think I can grow on the moon. I could grow anywhere. So let's see. Your gardening meme for the day. This is me when it rains, and I don't have to water the garden. It's true, but I still have plants I have to go water because I don't get enough water. So even when it's raining, I'm outside watering, which I've got to go do as soon as I'm done here because I didn't get a chance to do it this morning. I'm having to water at least once a day now. Did you see? So I reported to you guys last week that you guys saw Blanken talking about Assange, and he was a dangerous criminal and he put people's lives at risk and assets and blah, blah, blah. And it was all bullshit. And the Australian Prime Minister says government stands firm against the U.S. prosecution of Julian Assange, and it calls for U.S. Secretary of State's remarks that Julian Assange threatened the U.S. national security nonsense and said the U.S. is only bent on revenge. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Revenge. That's what they want. So free Assange. Yeah. Oh, wow. We went over today. I wasn't paying attention. Trailer Park Pundit needs your help. I am headed to Les Schwab right after the show to take my car in, get the first part of the damage done. I still don't know if I'm making it to Oz. I don't know if it's going to be drivable enough. And am I going to have any gas money to even get in the car and go anywhere today? I don't know. We're just playing. I decided I'm just going to give it over to a higher power. I don't even care anymore. I'm just not going to stress about it because I've been super stressed lately. If you guys want to help us out, we're doing a Roar Media cookbook. This is a fundraiser to help get Amber and I to Argentina. And we want your recipes. We want your photos, your videos, whatever you want to do. And I'm really asking people to submit like money saving idea things, right? Because everybody's working on a budget now. So we want those secret recipes like water pie and, the few ingredient meals that you can feed a big family, those type of ones, so you can reach out to me or Amber. I think the official site is roarmedia@pm.me, but of course you can get us on any of our websites. And I think we made it through the show. Yay. It's Monday, man. I feel like it's Monday. I'm so discombobulated. Hey, Anthony, what's up? Good morning. Hi, Keith. Keith hanging out. It's been a while since I've seen you, Keith. Jilly Love, thank you so much. Wesley, Go Star, Yona. Let's see who else. Come on. Yona, are you in here twice? Or am I tripping out? No, you're only in here once. Natalie Williams, I want you to have a happy birthday. Happy birthday. But you guys are just super chatty today. Chris H, welcome. Good to see you. Pittsburgh dude 87? Yeah, 87. Crimson, good to see you. Son of Clay, I'm sorry you don't like Suspicious Observer. I get it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people really, I hear that all the time. Kim, hello. And Peace Dove, I promise I will send you an email. I'm not even going to get up. I'm going to write you an email before I get up and walk out of the studio. Tim Buck too. Good to see you. To everybody hanging out over on the YouTubes, the Kick, the Rokfin, and the Rumble. Hello, Williams nickname. Hello, can't hear you. Yeah, I know. I was muted for 2 seconds. It happens. And Gregory Walker just hit us with the Super A. I got a suggestion for the cookbook. Name Eat the Bitch. Amazing dog recipes. Subtitle, at least it's not bugs. Subtitled, at least it's not bugs. That's funny. Freethinker 59. Shanda, thanks for a great show. Oh, thank you. I haven't been able to watch live much due to watching my grandson. Oh, I get it. Hunter called me yesterday. Nana, are we going to see Oz? I'm like, I'm trying, baby. I'm trying. She's like, well, then you better come get me, even if we don't go. So either way, I'm going to have the granddaughter, it sounds like, this coming weekend. Fred Edwards, thank you so much. We will get your card fixed, I promise. Hopefully Oz got it fixed. Zoxovoxovix, good to see you. Somebody told me when I turn my face, you can see the texture of my skin. And I was like, guess what? I have texture. Well, I'm not plastic. Jesus. Copeland Morris, good to see you. Denver Attaway, Death to Tyrants. Jim, good to see you. Victory Jim's in the house. Good to see you too. And so here's the thing. If I don't go to Oz's this weekend, if I can't get there because my car is down, I am not going to take the time off. We're going to do shows. So what we'll do Friday, if Amber is not doing a Brave New Future, we will do a movie night on Rokfin, and we're going to do Idiocracy. You guys have been asking to do Idiocracy. I think it's got to be done. It's time. We're going to do it. So just, the first time I ever saw that movie, I was like, this is so stupid. I didn't get it. But I wasn't in that mindset where I saw the world for as stupid as it is. So I do now. Okay, guys, we're going to go out of here. I got a great closer for you. This is Claire Ann Taylor, Shelter from the Storm, a Bob Dylan, a.k.a. Robert Zuckerman, because, that Zimmerman, that's right, is his name. So it's a great cover. I want you guys to have a great week. And I will be back Wednesday, no matter what. I will definitely have a show Wednesday morning. So Friday's kind of up in the air, though. And definitely no Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday, because we're going to take it off either way. We were supposed to be all hanging out together, but either way, no Beauty and the Boomer. Sorry, guys. I know. It makes me sad, too. But hopefully I will be down at the Land of Oz getting all kinds of video of us hanging out and having a good time. Okay. You guys have a great day. I will see you Wednesday morning. And just be kind to each other. There's enough hate in the world. We don't need any more. Why do we have no sound?
Was in another lifetime, one of toil and blood, when blackness was a virtue and the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from the storm. If I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, on that I'll give my word. In a world of steel and death and men who are fighting to be warm, come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from the storm. I was burned out from exhaustion, I was buried in the hail, I was poisoned in the bushes and blown out on a trail. I was hunted like a crocodile, ravaged in the corn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Turned around and she was standing there with silver bracelets on her wrists and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. preacher rides a mount, but nothing really matters much. It's doom alone that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows a feudal horn. Come in, she said, I'll give ya shelter from the storm. Newborn babies wailing like a mourning dove, and old men with broken teeth stranded without love. Do I understand your question, man? Is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter. Yeah, shelter. I was living in a foreign country, but I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks a razor's edge, someday I'll make her mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God